Good evening and thanks for joining us for Bison Information Network News. I'm Tristan Dakota.
And I'm Joe Thompson. Last Monday, a domestic dispute involving two children led to law enforcement getting involved and streets being blocked off.
Police arrived just south of campus around 10 p.m. and were trying to resolve the situation until 4 a.m. It happened at 1131 College Street, right across the street from NDSU's farmhouse fraternity. A man trapped himself inside the house with a woman and was reported to have a gun. Local authorities and SWAT were able to resolve the situation with no injuries. The suspect fled the scene and was later arrested by the police.
Last week marked the 4-year anniversary of the passing of NDSU student Tommy Bierson. The freshman was only 4 weeks into his college career before he went missing and was found dead 3 days later. With the deaths of students both off campus and in the dorms since Tommy's passing, student safety has become more of a priority on campus. While there are several different methods for staying safe at NDSU, there are not as many options once you leave. If you are in a situation where you feel unsafe, do not hesitate to contact your dorm resident assistant. They are always there to help.
Having intentional conversations with them to make sure that they are being mentally healthy and okay and listening to what they have to say and being a friend for them.
If you cannot contact a friend or your resident assistant, do not hesitate to call the police.
New students might be wondering what there is to do around campus and to get out and get involved. There is plenty to do on campus, from going to Bison games to participating in Bison Pride Friday. NDS students can get into any sporting event for free with a student ID, and Campus Attractions has free events for students monthly. They bring speakers, hypnotists, concerts, and late night entertainment and movies to the Union and places around campus. Bison Pride Friday is wearing green or gold every Friday to show support for Bison athletics across campus.
Homecoming week is October 7th through the 12th, and there will be plenty of events to keep students busy. Monday, there will be a barbecue from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. just outside the Union and a pep fest starting at noon. Thursday is the homecoming show and coronation at Festival Concert Hall starting at 7:30. Friday, President Dean Brashani will give his State of the University address at 10 a.m. in Festival Concert Hall. The homecoming parade starts at 5:30 and will not be held downtown like past years. The parade will start at the Fargo Dome and head down University Drive and turn west onto 12th Avenue. The homecoming carnival starts at 6 p.m. at Churchill Field and will have inflatable bouncy houses and games. The volleyball team has their homecoming game at 7 against South Dakota in the Benson Bunker Fieldhouse. And finally, Saturday will start off with tailgating from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the homecoming football game starts at 1.
The Innovation Challenge is back on NDSU's campus, and if you have an innovative idea to help people, you might want to check it out. The Innovation Challenge is a competition for students who have an idea for a business or a cause for future research. This year, the challenge will include tri-college students and will be happening in the fall instead of in spring when it's usually held. Students compete for over $21,000 in cash and other prizes over the semester-long challenge. Students can choose the social impact track, graduation research track, or entrepreneurship track. The first workshop will be 5:30 to 8 p.m. Thursday, October 3rd at the NDSU Alumni Center.
An NDSU student has been selected as a fellow for NPR's How I Built This Summit with Guy Raz. Demirci Cristel is a junior management major from Tanzania who developed an app called Enlight, which helps teachers learn about their students so they can be more effective in their teaching. His fellowship is October 22nd and 23rd in San Francisco, California.
And now let's take a look at this week's 7-day forecast.
Yeah, on Friday it's supposed to be a pretty sunny day with a high of 58 degrees and a low of 37. It's going to be cloudy pretty much for the rest of the week, 60 degrees on Saturday, 58 on Sunday. Monday, a little bit warmer, 70 degrees with a low of 45 in the morning. Tuesday, high of 50. Wednesday, it will be a high of 47 and a low of 32. And by Thursday next week, expect to see that sun once again as the high goes to 52 degrees and a low of 37.
Well, thanks, Joe. Coming up, how the Fall Career Expo is helping students.
And an update on Devron Tower. We'll be right back.
NDSU's annual Fall Career Expo invites college students from the Fargo-Moorhead area to meet with potential employers. The Fall Career Expo provides an amazing opportunity for employers to connect with students, whether it's to discuss current or future employment opportunities along with internship offers. Smita Garg coordinates the event. The Career Expo lasted 2 days at the Fargo Dome. The first day focused on agricultural and business careers, and the second day focused on engineering and technology careers.
So it's about exploring those jobs, meeting with employers, developing those relationships, finding out what kind of industries are out there, networking. So there are many, many things that a student can get out of attending a career expo. It is an important part of their career, of their academic education.
If you didn't get a chance to attend the Career Expo this fall, they host another one in the spring.
The construction project at the heart of campus residence is almost complete. While Devron Tower will soon be the second home for the College of Health Professions, the addition will bring programs like pharmacy, nursing, and allied science and public health together in hopes of enhancing education for students. Gate City Bank has recently announced that it will be contributing $2.5 million to the renovations. The tower will cost $28 million and is expected to be completed in December, just 18 months after breaking ground. Coming up in national news, the House of Representatives have an impeachment inquiry for Donald Trump, what you need to know about the vaping ban.
And Breaking Bad fans are getting a surprise when we come back.
According to a transcript released Wednesday by the White House, President Trump asked Ukraine's president to investigate Joe Biden and his son Hunter. It's the latest aspect of the impeachment inquiry facing President Trump. CNN's Mary Maloney has more about that phone call and what impeachment means for President Trump.
In the midst of an impeachment inquiry centered around President Trump, the president sat down with his Ukrainian counterpart for the first time. But the two leaders have spoken before. The White House released a transcript of a call from July. In it, President Trump asked President Zelensky for, quote, a favor. Among other things, investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son, Hunter. The president wanted the Ukrainian leader to work with Rudy Giuliani, his personal lawyer, and U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr. The conversation came after the United States temporarily withheld aid to Ukraine.
Nobody pushed me, yes.
In other words, no pressure.
Democrats say the discussion is damning.
What those notes reflect is a classic mafia-like shakedown of a foreign leader.
President Trump is adamant, insisting he did nothing wrong.
It's the single greatest witch hunt in American history.
The call is at the center of a complaint filed by a whistleblower, concerned about the administration's actions. Democrats demand to see the whistleblower's full report.
And that whistleblower needs to be given the complete freedom to report any allegations of wrongdoing that have come to that whistleblower's attention.
The president says the call controversy and impeachment inquiry are simply Democrats playing politics.
So many great things are happening, and the Democrats feel they're going to lose.
In Washington, I'm Mary Maloney.
The House Energy and Commerce is holding a vaping hearing on Wednesday. The ACT commissioner of the FDA is among those scheduled to testify. This as health officials continue to probe into the health-related links issued linked to the habit. John Lawrence reports.
Don't vape them if you got them. That's the message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
At this point, I think caution regarding all products is recommended.
The CDC says there's been at least 9 vaping-related deaths in the U.S. in just over the last month. That's in addition to the more than 500 cases of lung problems linked to e-cigarettes, some of which illegally contained THC oil.
We currently have Minnesota children who are on mechanical ventilation due to this vaping injury.
This week, Minnesota police arrested a man after seizing nearly 80,000 illegal vaping cartridges with THC. The street value, up to $3.8 million, according to police. Over in Los Angeles, protesters on both sides of the vaping issue making their voices heard.
The tobacco companies say that they're targeting adults, but they're using flavors that attract kids.
Once you stop how they're getting it, then it doesn't matter what flavor it is. There's still flavored alcohol out there. Why aren't we taking that off the shelf?
In a preliminary vote on Tuesday, the LA Board of Supervisors unanimously voted in favor of banning flavored e-cigs and tobacco products in the county. And Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker is calling for a statewide 4-month ban on the sale of vaping products. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Temporary bans on most flavored e-cigs are instituted in Michigan and New York.
Fans of the show Breaking Bad are getting a movie, and the Joker is causing victims of gun violence to speak out to the studio.
David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
You ready? Yeah. Breaking Bad is back, sort of. Aaron Paul returns as Jesse Pinkman in the first trailer for El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, which begins moments after the TV series finale ended. Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan directs the film, which debuts on Netflix October 11th.
What facts are you going to choose?
Tom Hanks has 8 Golden Globe Awards at home, and this January, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association is giving him an even bigger honor. Hanks will receive the 2020 Cecil B. DeMille Award, which goes to someone who's made a lasting impact on the film industry. He'll be honored at the 77th Annual Golden Globes, January 5th in Beverly Hills.
Is this a joke to you?
The violence in the upcoming Warner Brothers movie Joker has brought a response from Aurora, Colorado, where 12 people were killed when a gunman opened fire at a 2012 screening of The Dark Knight Rises. 5 family members and friends of victims wrote to Warner Brothers asking the studio to join us in our fight to build safer communities with fewer guns. In a statement, Warner Brothers called gun violence a critical issue, adding that Joker is not an endorsement of real-world violence of any kind. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The break, Isaac Dieneson will have our sports update.
Isaac, what do you have for us today?
We got a recap from last weekend's NDSU football game, and I also have an update on an NDSU spring sport. What do I mean about that? I'll let you know when we come back. Last Saturday's matchup at the Fargo Dome was billed as the toughest test of NDSU's non-conference games as 4th-ranked UC Davis came to town. Through its 3 games, the Bison had hardly faced any adversity, but if the Aggies had anything to prove, they were not going to be a pushover. This guy, as you'll see on your screen, Trey Lance, was going to need to be on top of his game for the Bison to come out victorious. Picking things up in the early first quarter, the running game got the Bison down to the 2-yard line. Adam Cofield punches it in. It's 7-0 home team. The Aggies would later tie the game, and a few drives later, controversy strikes. This is Tayron Thomas taking the screen pass in for UC Davis for 6 points, but the referees would review this play, and they would call offensive pass interference, no touchdown. They'd have to settle for 3. It's a 10-7 lead for the Aggies. Ensuing drive for the Bison, Trey Lance rolling out to his right. He's met near the goal line. Knee never touches. He stays upright. He's in. The Bison take a 17-13 lead at the half. The teams would trade field goals in the third quarter, so we have a full 4-quarter game in our hands at the Dome. 7 minutes left, down by 4, 3rd and goal. Quarterback Jake Mayer's pass is intercepted at the goal line by Michael Tutsi. A huge red zone takeaway for the Bison. And after another Aggie turnover, it's that redshirt freshman quarterback at it again. Here he is running left, juking and giving him the people's elbow, running him over into the end zone. Bison win this one 27-16, capping off the non-conference with a 4-0 record. Huge sigh of relief for Matt Entz.
I'll give you a quick fact. Here's a Bob Nielsen fact. All right, when I grew up playing for Coach Nielsen, if you give up less than 17, you got an 85% chance of winning. So that's the only number that I worry about right now. We knew they were going to come in here and chuck and duck and throw it, and they did a great job, but our kids were able to get some 3 and outs, get off the field, create some takeaways.
The Bison's winning streak extends to 25 games. It's the 3rd longest in FCS history, just behind James Madison's streak NDSU spoiled in the 2017 FCS championship game. The Bison are off this week. They're back in action October 5th. It's been a promising yet up and down start for the NDSU volleyball team this season. Through 12 matches this year, the Bison are 5-7, a 3-win increase from this point last year. However, the team has played opponents like Tennessee and Cal out of Power 5 conferences and Western Kentucky, a prominent mid-major program. Last year, NDSU became the first ever 6th seed to advance to the Summit League Tournament semifinal round, and this year return all but 3 from last year's roster. Head coach Jennifer Lopez's squad opens conference play tomorrow, 7 o'clock on the road against South Dakota State. NDSU softball's fall season is underway and ending quickly. The team has already hosted 4 exhibition games against lower division schools to get some extra game reps in during the long off season. Though these games don't count, the Bison have won each of its games by a combined total of 50-4. NDSU is playing MSUM at Theraldson Park as we are live right now. Then we'll travel down to Minnesota this weekend before one last tune-up against Minot State next Saturday at home. Admission will be free for that final game. And last night, the Minnesota Twins are the American League Central Division winners. That's their first division title in 9 years. After a win against the Detroit Tigers cut the Twins' magic number to 1, all the Twins needed was a Cleveland Indians loss to the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox won 8-3, and pandemonium ensued. This will be the second playoff appearance in 3 seasons for Minnesota, last losing in a wild card game to the New York Yankees in 2017. As far as the current playoff picture looks, the Houston Astros are close to claiming the top seed in the American League, currently battling with the Yankees for that spot. The Twins will face whichever team finishes in second. The 2 AL wildcard slots have yet to be decided. In the National League, we know the teams that are in. The matchups aren't decided yet. The 3 division winners have their spots all locked up. The wild card spots belong to the Washington Nationals and the Milwaukee Brewers. Great story, though, for the Minnesota Twins this year. They took care of business today. They beat the Tigers today to win their 98th game of the year.
It's really just really impressive to see after such low expectations, after so many years of 90-plus loss seasons. It's really impressive to finally see them win another division title. We'll be right back. Before we get to what NDSU students did this summer, here's another look at the 7-day forecast.
All right, so Friday we have a high of 63 and a low of 43. Moving on to Saturday, starts to become cloudy with a high of 57 and a lows of 36 degrees. Sunday is still cloudy, high of 54 degrees and a low of 36 degrees. On Monday, high of 51, low of 41. Continuing on to Tuesday, high of 53 and a low of 38. Still cloudy by Wednesday. It is a high of 55, a low of 37. And Thursday, you'll start to see that sun again with a high of 55 and low of 40.
It's been exactly 1 month since NDSU resumed classes and 3 days since the official start of fall, so summer is officially over.
Bison Information Network reporter Lindsay Iverson asked students how they spent their summer in this week's Bison on the Street.
I volunteered at a costume shop for Trollwood, and I helped them sew costumes, and then I did the run crew for it as well. And yeah, I just had fun at the lake too.
Last summer I came to NDSU in July and worked out all summer.
I worked as an intern as a crop scout.
I worked on an ambulance crew all summer. Mainly just hung out with my friends and family, especially because it's my first year in college, so I spent a lot of time with my siblings.
Well, last summer I worked full-time at a warehouse, which mostly just involved me zooming around on a riding pallet jack.
Well, I helped out with my community's reading program at the library.
Last summer I did a little bit of painting and like small contracting work, and then just kind of hung out with friends, went to the lake.
I worked a lot this summer. I didn't have all that much fun, but glad to see that other people did have some fun this summer.
I mean, I was able to take a trip up to upstate New York, and I got to film a music festival, so that was pretty fun.
That sounds like fun.
Well, you guys had, I did about the same as you. I worked full-time at the serving job I work at, so you had more fun than us, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
Gotta make money. Gotta make money.
Well, thanks for joining us for Bison Information Network News.
Be sure to tune in next week at 6 for more student news.
And don't forget to check us out on social media. Have a great night, everyone.